Going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Breaks Radio. I'm one of your hosts, CEO Hayes, and I'm joined by the great one himself. Baylor's in the building. What's going on, Baylor?
What up? What up? What up?
It's just us for right now. Mary and Marquis will be joining us shortly, but we got a lot of things planned for you guys this week. First up, Young Thug, his lyrics will officially be used against him as evidence in court. They're specifically going to be focusing around a few tracks here. It looks like it's Anybody, Take It to Trial, Ski, and Slatty. I don't know what
He
the fuck these niggas
he has
names
a
for
he
these
has a
tracks is.
track called "Take It to Trial."
Yeah, take it to trial. So that's literally what they doing. They taking the track to trial. What's going on, Mary? Miss Mary Almonte's in the building. What's going on?
Oh no, I
Uh
don't hear you guys well.
oh. Mm.
Let me leave. I'll come right back.
All right, Mary. But yeah, he had a track called "Take It to Trial."
Yeah,
Predictive program in there.
I heard it was over several tracks that they're going to use.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? This is probably the best thing that could happen to him in a terrible situation, because those tracks that was released, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to go back and listen to those tracks now.
this is true. This is true.
So that's the only thing I can think of.
And so, I mean, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, in which I think it was the city of New York had they made it more restrictive of using artist lyrics against them. Unfortunately, they are not in New York. I bet you they
Mhm.
wish they were right now. But this, as we talked about on that topic, it's listen. It's unfortunate that people's music, which is art, can be used against them because it's not always representative of the truth. But still, with that even being said, the fact that Young Thug's lyrics is being used against him, and they're taking tracks, and one of the tracks is literally titled "Take It to Trial," and they're using it in his trial. Is fucking bananas.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, I would naturally say, I would be on the artist side.
Mm-hmm.
But I do got to look at it from the other standpoint too, because if these lyrics, I agree that your art you know, shouldn't be, I would say, judged. No pun, but they shouldn't be judged.
Baylor froze out there.
To someone in your family. I think you good with that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. We got Marquis and Mary that both join. You guys can hear us, okay?
Yep.
I
You hear
can.
us?
All right, perfect. So we're still
Boom.
on the first topic, just talking about Young Thug's lyrics being used against him in court. Where do you guys stand with that? We talked a little bit. Like I said, we had a topic a couple weeks ago in which New York has made it really restrictive on using artists' lyrics against them. Unfortunately, they're not in New York for this trial. So, Marquis, I'll come to you first on that. How do you feel about an artist's lyrics being used against them in court?
Well, first off, shout out to the fact that you say what you do. How about that?
I don't know if we can shout that out in this case, but I feel what you say.
In this case, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you did that shit, you say that shit, you did that shit. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I feel bad for that nigga. Like, damn. He should have been in New York, bro.
All right, Mary, what about you? How do you feel about an artist's lyrics being used against them in court?
Right. So what I was going to say was that think I'm not sure which case led to this, but I know that New York just did pass,
Mm-hmm.
that law stating that lyrics can't be used against you. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I feel like this
Everybody
is
froze.
what?
No, that froze for a bit.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
you get on my end.
Am I
Get on
frozen?
my end.
Yeah, you didn't freeze on my end.
Yeah, you freezing my end.
Okay, my bad.
Go ahead, Mary. Keep cooking.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think that we need to make that a universal law. I mean, look at just over the years how many people have did time for some shit that they probably just were saying to sound cool in a song. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, they've been denied bail. It's a RICO case. By the time they have enough to even bring down a RICO indictment, it's all but written. Like
I got
so whether they're using lyrics or not, at this point they probably have enough to convict. So I guess we'll see. We'll see.
if Elon Musk came out with an album talking about shorting the stock and how much manipulation he did, would feds catch up to him? Would they actually use that against
I
him?
bet you he'd be investigated at least. I guarantee you they would at least investigate it, whether they do it
Dude,
publicly
if that
or
was the
not.
case, they would have investigated him for Doge. The shit he did with
This is
Doge
true.
was ridiculous,
This
right?
is
He didn't get investigated. He pumped, dumped, and then blew. Yo, fuck out of here. They ain't doing that shit to them. They're doing that shit to us. You see the manipulation going down. Come on, bro. Bet you get caught with the Rico.
The Rico.
Puerto
Moving
Rico.
on. More positive news. Lupe Fiasco is teaching at MIT. It hasn't officially started yet. Lupe is your guy, Marquis. So I'm coming to you first on this one. How do you feel about Marquis? I mean, not Marquis, Lupe. Which
I'll teach at MIT
you could
too.
definitely teach hip hop at MIT. But how do you feel about Lupe teaching hip hop
So,
at MIT?
I got to be honest with you. This goes in a long line of rappers with careers that actually matter. I remember Tracy Lee is an actual attorney. I don't know if y'all remember him. The Genius is a physics professor. But Lupe, like, think about that. Teaching at MIT, that says a lot. The dude is smart as fuck. I actually watched a recent Drink Champs with Nas, and they asked Nas who's like the closest person lyrically or as far as storytelling, whatever that to him. He said Lupe. He said if you actually took my you dissect me basically, you would get Lupe. And it says a lot, even though you kind of disparaged Tribe Called Quest by not recognizing that it's backpack rap, but lyrically, like he is one of the greatest lyricists of all time. He's boring as fuck, long songs, but if you dissect his shit, the dude is amazing. So I kudos to him. I'm glad we're doing some great shit though. Hip Hop Museum coming out soon. Like we teaching at MIT. You want to use somebody's lyrics against them? Use that shit. Dissect that shit. Let's see if the motherfucking feds are dissecting that shit. They won't get they're probably knocked out.
Yeah, it'll probably take them a while to understand that.
Shout out to the Sosa Guild of Lyricists, which Lupe is a member of, because they always do some dope shit. But Mary, how do you feel about Lupe teaching at MIT?
I think it's dope. I think we need more rappers turn professors. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yeah.
What about you, Baylor?
I think that shows like the richness of the culture, to where like I go all the way
Very
back.
good point.
I think it goes all the way back to the beginning of hip hop to where we're at now. Instead of the stuff that's promoted nowadays, you look on the flip side, because for a while we just finished talking about Young Thug. They want to use his lyrics against him, but they never highlight the artists like Lupe or the K-Dots or the J. Cole's. You know what I mean? You can even throw Drake in there with certain tracks and things like that. That needs to be highlighted. And we're talking about cats that don't need a degree to teach something that's teaching the world. Like the hip hop culture teaches the world. And I'm not a Lupe fan. I got probably a handful of tracks in my library, but I know how serious he is. I know how dangerous he is. You know what I mean? So that's dope.
Hey, shout out to the culture. I know the culture one is turned into a cliche, but that's definitely a win for the culture to have somebody of Lupe's stature with being a lyricist teaching at MIT, teaching rap at MIT. Rap is being taught at MIT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Kendrick's teaching at NYU, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, listen, shout out to the culture. Next up, Migos. Apparently they've split off now to Uncle and Few, which is a dumbass name. I've never seen so many people worried about who unfollowed who the day that this happened. But I'm going to ask you guys this. Was this all the publicity stunt? What do you guys think of?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why they're beefing, but I do think they're beefing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but
I don't care.
That Kendrick album though was crazy, man.
Listen, that's what I really like when people were talking about this. I was like,
crazy.
I struggled. I completely eliminated the new music section for this week because there's just not a lot of new music out there. And I know they dropped this song, and I refuse to put. I'm not reviewing no Migos nothing. I'm not doing it. I don't give a damn. I haven't listened to the song. I haven't watched the video. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna say something. I can't do that anymore. I think if we're going to represent the culture and we're going to bridge that gap, we kind of have to review it, give a perspective on it that says, even if it isn't for us, we're not going to bring somebody on who's 20, 25 that's going to, try to bridge the gap for us. So we kind of have to do it for them. I didn't hear the song. I will take a listen. I already know I'm not going to like it, but it's because it's not for me. But I do think we owe it to the culture. If we're going to do it, we do have to take time to review things like that.
Look at this. Marquis is the voice of
I know.
He
I know,
says
I
it
went from the Green Ranger.
until we're reviewing it, and he does that thing where he just looks and be like,
but I give an honest opinion about everything I review.
You do. When you actually review it, don't act like there's never been a time where you've been like, hey, this wine's fire, and then review the song. Come on, fam. We know you. We're family here.
I need to have some wine. Hey, shit. I'll listen. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna take the time to listen to it. Publicity stunt, I don't know. They don't need it though. Like, it's Migos. Yeah. They really don't need it.
No, yes they do. Yes, they do need it. You wanna know why? Because fame is a drug. And you gotta stay. You gotta stay in the headlines.
Hey,
it doesn't matter how, bro. It's a lot of people that still think that the Will Smith and what Chris Rock think is fake. And I can understand why people love attention. And
right, they said it in the song. You do anything for clout.
The past couple of weeks has been owned by K-Dot alone, as far as music wise. So to me, everything is a rollout. And it could be fake or it could be real. The point is, we don't care. But I believe both can be true.
Here's my problem with that though. I'm also seeing a lot of, he only sold 294 and people clowning him because of that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with the culture? Like,
we don't have to worry about that no more, bro. It's already seen.
Do we not?
No, we don't. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that.
Right. All I'm saying is we're handing this off.
I honestly don't care. I honestly don't care about who's selling what, just as long as it sounds good. Because I realized when I heard somebody say, he don't have any bops on this record, you know what I'm saying? But they fuck with Lil Baby and Future. That's all I needed to know, bro. That's all I needed to know from them.
But the difference is 5 years from now, what we appreciate, if they're curating our soundtrack, our music, and that's what's going to be, handed down to the generation after that, that's all we're going to hear.
But no,
you see what I'm saying? That's why I care about that.
But let me tell you how, and I don't want to use the word dumb, but it's fitting. They will use the samples of their original tracks from the 90s and not know about it.
Agreed.
So when they start talking like they don't know no better.
And this
stuff is not gonna last. It's like fast food. Eventually, you're gonna have to stop eating some of that and start eating some house food. Eventually,
but not when they keep serving you these side platters.
That's true.
You getting tap ass.
That's true, but those are not the cats that I'm picking up to play ball with me. I'm looking past them.
But niggas are getting older. The younger generation is more of those little motherfucking side plates.
All right, so Marquise, let them have it, bro. Let them have it.
I 100% agree with you. All I'm saying is, what I love, the music that I appreciate, is few far in between. When's the last time we had an album like this? We had Nas. We had, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's few far in between albums that are appreciated this way. Then we get a Jack Harlow, where we know he has a skill, but he chose to go down the path of whatever because he wants to see.
But I'm just happy and glad that you are smart enough to know what they're doing with Jack Harlow.
I get that, but 10 years from now, I won't matter. I'm not their audience.
No, it don't. But what does matter is when you go 10 years from now, when you still listening to KD 1 and 2, that matters, and that matters to the artists that we really care about.
It does, but what's playing on the radio, what's selling, and what's, you know what I'm saying? That's my only concern.
But some of these cats won't get it though. Some of these cats won't get it until they get to that. It might take them another 10, 15 years to.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like when we reviewed it, we said that if you haven't been through shit, you're not gonna understand this album. But this is an album that as people grow and go through some shit, if they go back, it's gonna be one of those gems that people find later in life, like the 22, 23-year-olds right now that ain't really been through nothing. Let them check out that album when they're 29, 30, 31.
Okay.
I guarantee you it hits
Okay.
different.
Marquise, you listen to R&B soul from the 70s, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But let me point this out to you. How many of y'all heard Criminal Minded?
What you mean?
How many of y'all listen to actual Criminal Minded? Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded.
I think we all
Okay.
have, but
Okay, here's what I'm saying. That album was the first true gangster philosophy album ever, hybrid album, right? But no one appreciates that because it's now so far gone. My concern is we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Now we're getting all this where lyrics don't even matter anymore. I watched the interview with Pusha T. He even said it. Lyrics don't matter anymore. Lyricism is gone. It's few far in between. Back when we were there, 90s, 2000, you had to come with your shit. Jada came with his shit. Fab, Jada, the rest of them, you had to come with your shit. Now, you don't have to come with shit. You can say whatever the fuck you wanted. It's punch rap now. My point is, lyricism is gone. There's not a lot to dissect in music anymore. Everything is pretty much a TikTok, quick 3-second, 30-second, whatever, digestible. Now you're on to the next. That's my concern. This Kendrick album is a masterpiece, but only we appreciate that. The generation below us that's supposed to carry on the tradition, they don't appreciate this. That's my concern. So imagine a generation after that.
we can take partial blame for that though too. Because as much as we sit up there and complain about them, it's not like they're different. Because nobody, I mean, I had my older brother and my older cousin to put me up on Wu-Tang and Redman and etc. when I was younger. You know what I mean? Cats will sit up there and laugh at me when I say one of my favorite albums is Dog Food. But
homie, Baylor. Here's the thing: the OGs ain't checking no more. Remember?
That's my point. We the OGs now.
Yeah, I know. But
so I just finished telling my son, I said, I want to do a thing where you give me an album to listen to, and I have to give you an album to listen to. You got to listen to it all the way through. And so we swapped. Now it was just by coincidence that he was like, all right, you listen to the Future album, and then I'll listen to the K Dot. Fair. You know what I mean? And we'll do that.
Dope.
And I'll take a track off of Future
album. Gap.
And you tell me what track you'll take off of K Dot's. But everybody's not doing that, and that's not gonna last for long. You got to let them have their time. Obviously, it's not completely up to us. It's up to the old heads in the hip hop game. You know what I'm saying? I think bars will always be there. It's gonna be overpowered by the production and the mumble rap. But we got to see where hip hop is gonna go within the next 5-10 years. We just don't know.
Okay.
And then I think that's a whole. I think what you just said is true. But that's a whole totally different discussion when we talk about social media as well. Because social media is influencing these artists to make social media music.
Okay. Shout out to my man who said Kendrick is dope. Somebody made a comment 60. In there.
That's one of my little lokes. But Mary, you've been quite quiet over there for a little while.
I mean, I don't really have anything more to add.
Hey, listen, me, Baylor, and Marquis get us on tangents, but that was a great conversation. I mean, I get where both you guys are coming from. I mean, it really just comes to you can't force feed anybody anything. They're gonna get it at some point. The album's gonna stand the test of time. That is art. It's always gonna be there.
So after all these listens, how many? Where you guys rank it?
Oh, listen, bro. I'm probably on like my 8th listen of that album.
Yeah, I'm not going to do you any disservice, Marquise, because I respect you a lot. I have to listen to all the albums back to back. Yo, I made a Nas and Kendrick playlist. Oh my god!
Hey, you didn't share it? The fact that you just had the nerve to say that you ain't share it with us.
I need to hear it, bro.
I thought we was family, Baylor. At this point now, you may not be able to come to the barbecue.
Hey, look. This is how much I love y'all. If they hit me with the Rico, everybody coming with me.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, y'all. No new music to review today on the list, so we're going right into Black People Like Rock 2. Marquis, you got anything for us today?
You're motherfucking right. So why not? So all right. I didn't get to put together a lot of topics, but I will ask y'all some bands versus the other band. Which one you choose and give me a reason why. Nothing major, just something real simple. Ready?
Go ahead.
Mhm.
All right, the Beatles versus Pink Floyd.
The
Pink
Beatles.
Floyd.
Beatles,
Reason why?
because they're the Beatles.
They're the fucking Beatles, bro. Like,
I have 2 Pink Floyd shirts, and I like their logo.
Okay,
they do have
so
an amazing logo.
I'm gonna say this. You do know that the Pink Floyd is the alternate version of the Beatles, like the
Yeah.
dark version of the Beatles. Okay,
They're alternate. They're not the Beatles, though.
but okay, just okay. I'll leave that there. Black Sabbath versus Led Zeppelin.
Black Sabbath all day, every day.
Mm.
And just a little backstory to that, where you guys are thinking, I say Black Sabbath because Black Sabbath was the first time outside of Jimi Hendrix that I actually, as a kid, was able to say, hey, I fucking love rock music.
Mm.
And that's where they get my vote because of what Hay said.
So
Well, I'm just gonna go Led Zeppelin just to be controversial. Then.
Okay.
I don't really have a dog in that fight.
Soundgarden versus Alice in Chains.
I listen to
Soundgarden.
changes because I'm more familiar.
Yeah, I think I'll go that too.
And Rolling Stones versus Metallica.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Bro, I don't think I could pick. I really don't think I could do it.
I'm going the Stones.
I'm going. Me
man.
too. Me too. Just off of Target alone.
Jesus. I'm going Metallica.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna recap real quick for y'all.
Okay.
So Beatles versus Pink Stone. I'm gonna call that a draw. The only reason is the Beatles again was a lighthearted version. There's a lot of drug use there, and it was camouflaged by a lot of beautiful music. Pink Floyd was a straight up trip. So that's why it was even to me. When it came to Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, I'm gonna go with Led Zeppelin because their groove, their melodies, their harmonies, and everything were a lot more eccentric, and they created bands like Tool for me. When it comes to Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, I'll go Alice only because they're the only band to actually downtone their guitars to create a whole new sound for themselves. Rolling Stones and Metallica, I want to say Metallica because like Into the Sandman, but Rolling Stones just created a whole new genre of everybody. And Keith Richards still alive. Like how this motherfucker did every drug known to man still alive. So, as a matter of fact, real quick, Johnny Depp, God rest his soul, created his characters off of Keith Richards. I know, right?
Johnny
He
Depp
created
is
Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow came from Keith Richards, and I forgot another person. He tied those two people in together and made Jack Sparrow. So that's it for me.
In the beginning of your summer, you put 2 rock bands together, and Pink Stones. That's a
Pink
that's
Stones.
a cold that's a cold
That's
name.
a dope name, right? Pink
That's a
Stones. I'm
cold
down
name.
with it.
I said, who the hell is Pink Stones?
Yeah, Pink Stones. Let's do it. Pink Floyd, Beatles, Pink Stones. I'm good with it.
All right. Well, they did a lot of Stones, that's for sure.
They did a lot of
They
Stones.
did
Probably
a
some
lot
crack
of
rock, too.
a lot of them. All right.
Smoked your grandmother.
Moving on. Atlanta.
Let's look back at their lyrics. Can them motherfuckers be looked at for looking at their lyrics? Because I mean, there's a lot of drug use, and I'm guaranteed somebody died from that shit. All right.
Again, they are from the mountains of Caucasus. They don't give a damn what their lyrics are talking
about. Very good, sir. Very good.
Atlanta. We haven't talked about this in a while. We actually skipped it last week because Mary wasn't on. Since then, the season finale dropped, which was mind-boggling.
That was the season finale?
Yeah, that was the season finale. Now we're in a break until the next season, which is only in a couple of months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah. What do you guys think overall about this season of Atlanta? If you guys want to talk about the last couple episodes specifically or talk about the season as a whole, we can open it up. It doesn't matter. We'll go to Mary first. That's our resident TV and film expert. Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I didn't know I was that, but thank you. All right, wait. First, we got to go to the episode before last where Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, played a wealthy, well-to-do alumnus of a racist, basically high school, and he decided to award every senior a full scholarship to college who is Black. And basically, it really did make you question how Blackness is defined. The main character of the episode happens to be biracial. It appears that he's white passing. I mean, the episode was in black and white, so it was kind of hard to tell complexions. And basically everyone who was of questionable black identification had to pass a black test in front of the black delegation. I'm sorry, that scene had me fucking crying. Like,
yes, me too.
asked him to spell LaQuisha.
I can spell that. I can spell that.
Yeah.
The thing is there any wrong way to spell LaQuisha? Because I can think of like 5 different ways to go off the top of my head.
Correct answer, sir. Correct answer.
Like,
and then what do you mix Henny with?
that's funny, man.
Right. And then they had him doing all kinds of dances. I think I saw the electric slide and so I don't know. It made me actually question if me and Hayes, yes, you ain't getting out of that, Hayes, would have had to do that.
I would have passed. That's it. I just would have told my dad to just
and watch us both not have passed, and we're both like, yeah.
But that's the thing. I wouldn't have even been asked to do the test.
Stop. Yes,
you on the other hand, Mary, would have definitely had to do the test.
That's not fair.
Baylor, you understand, right?
They would have got in. They would have got in.
Y'all would have got in. I mean, you're on a hip hop show. Like, come on, y'all would have got in.
They would have got in.
Well, right. So okay, though. So was he not black because all his friends were white?
I think it was how he carried himself. To honestly,
I think even in you see early on, he was almost embarrassed of his black side. Then he wanted to embrace it once the money was there.
And he called dudes monkeys. Like, come on, bro. You don't call your brothers monkeys on a gaming. Like, you basically already separated yourself. I'm like, come on, man. Nah.
Well, you know what really killed me? What really killed me was in the end when the Nigerian boy showed up to torch the school with him, and they didn't let him in either. And then the main character, had the nerve to tell the Nigerian boy, like, well, you're not really black because you have a whole culture to tap into.
But that's true.
It's crazy because some people from other countries feel that way, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. I mean, part of blackness is having had your identity robbed from you. So
OTA.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there. It was, I mean, Donald Glover's a fucking genius. And that to me was one. I mean, every one of these one-off episodes has been thought-provoking, but that one kind of hit home for me. So yeah. And then we skip to the last episode, which I guess is would it be considered the season finale, even though September is really a continuation of this season?
Well, no, they're two different seasons. The next one is season 4. This was technically season 3. So
okay,
you think they're going back to Atlanta or at least back?
Yeah. They have to finish in Atlanta. They have to finish.
But we'll get there, right? Like, so basically, how this season closed out, it did kind of make sense. It did kind of do that a little bit. I mean, basically, it also starts off strangely with this group of girlfriends kind of visiting Paris, talking about weird stuff they do with dudes and
pissing on niggas.
And
I'm gonna piss on you. Piss on you. Sorry.
And then they run into Van, and she is completely different with this whole other accent, and is just basically pretending to be this other person and has like a whole nother man's out there. And she's planning to marry this dude. And like, what about her daughter? So I don't know. She takes these chicks on a whole escapade, which is fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. They had a
she
hell of a
beat
day.
somebody with a hard baguette. Like, come on, man. Come on. And I do want to mention something else. I know we all give a lot of credit to Donald Glover on writing the show, but we also need to shout out Stephanie Robinson, who's also the head writer on the show. Black woman who's not only written for Atlanta, but she's written for What We Do in the Shadows and Fargo. And she's won 2 Writer Guild Awards.
Wow.
So let's shout out Stephanie Robinson.
Fargo was dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, shout out.
Yeah. Black Girl Magic and all that.
Fargo is the show that comes over right after. Yeah. At least after I finish watching Atlanta, it's the one that's loading up next.
Well, look at that. So anyway, yeah, that shit was wild. All for it to just end up breaking down into the explanation of Van basically having, I guess, what Marquis called an identity crisis, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's real too.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was
So
pretty. I mean, obviously, most average folk don't have the means and resources and support system to just pick up and go to Amsterdam and adapt a new identity literally when they go through an identity crisis. But okay, go ahead, Marquis. You were going to say something.
no, just to speak on that, think about this. She didn't fit in Atlanta because she did speak German. She was biracial. She was going through her own shit. She probably didn't feel like she had an identity there. So when she went abroad, she tried to find herself. She completely adopted a whole new personality based on what she watched, which is
Mm-hmm.
fucking like it was genius. It was genius. She's fucking Van is smart as fuck. She just doesn't know where she fits in. Ern, and again, if you go back to the original seasons, Ern even didn't know his way until he found what he's really good at, and that was managing Paperboy.
Yeah.
Van just
Yeah.
didn't find her way yet because he would have been the same thing, basically on a path where to nowhere, smart as fuck. We don't know why he dropped out of school. Why whatever happened to school? I forgot what university he went to, but he was at a major university. Ended up not going for some reason. Smart as fuck, but off the beaten path, and finally found his path. And I think that's the same thing with Van. She just never found her way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's seeing how everybody else was operating around her. And honestly, I go a little bit deeper. Like, when you're a good mother, whether you're with the father or not, you have the kid with you majority of the time. And I think her going on that trip, she got lost into a whole totally different lifestyle. And I would, I've seen some people online saying that, well, that's symptoms of being a bad parent. But I
No.
think, she was just such a mother, for so long, and she got the opportunity to have some freedom,
Let's
and she got attached to an identity that really she was really interested in, and she got lost in it.
let's get rid of the stigma that if mothers take time away from their kids to do anything for themselves, that they're bad mothers. Can we get rid of that stigma in 2022? Like, can
Right.
We
women
should have been got
take
rid
a
of that
break?
shit.
Can women get like go away for a second just to have some fucking time for them without being labeled as bad parents or somebody asking where's your kid? Can we get rid of that?
And
Mhm.
the nerve is probably coming from the women that's leaving their kids with their mothers for the weekend.
Or
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
grandma's raising their damn kids. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
I
yeah,
mean, yes,
Anyway,
let's get rid of that stigma, but let's also be real. Most people cannot just up and go to another country and ignore their parents' phone calls who are watching their
oh, well,
kids.
this is true. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
This
that was
yeah,
a bit of a stretch for me.
yeah.
yeah.
But my parents
Also,
watch my kids for 5 minutes, so that's my mother would have shown up. So
shout out to Alexander Skarsgård for his guest appearance.
Yeah.
Man, listen. Any actor that can play a version of themselves and literally make fun of themselves is fucking awesome. And
well, I
that shit was
think that's a
hilarious.
recurring theme too, right? Like
Yeah.
of the show. It's
Liam Neeson and everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
But what
Yeah.
the fuck was it? I'm trying to figure out the metaphor for the hands though.
Oh, that was
Bro.
gross.
That shit. Not
Don't make
Yo,
me
fried
I didn't get the
hands.
metaphor.
Fried
I'm not,
hands.
I'm not putting no. First of all, I'm not eating anything, and I can't see it.
For real.
Yeah. That's just crazy, man.
Oh, girl.
I know there's a message there, but I didn't get that one. I'm like, where are we going with the hands? All right.
Yeah.
Wasn't just me. Okay.
No,
Trust
it's
me.
not
Hey,
just you at all,
when it gets too deep like that, bro, I do it just like I do Kendrick album. I go straight to YouTube.
Yo,
T-
what's up with chick peeing on dude? She pee too much.
Oh man,
Did you hear how long that stream was
Stop.
going? No.
Yo, like
Like,
how long have
come
you been
on.
holding that?
He said I was holding for a while in the car. He's like, all right, let's get started.
That's just
Oh my
crazy.
god, I do not have golden string dreams.
Have some accountability though. Like, close your mouth, big dog. Move out the way at some point.
Apparently, like look at the little set that he put down. The plastic probably got on a rug at that point. It was a stream. It was a fucking shower there. It was there's an ocean just flowing there, yo.
Yeah, just go move out the way and go take a real shower.
Right.
That's funny, man. That's people are weird as shit. Anything left on the episode of the season as a whole?
No kink
I
shaming.
fucking love this show, yo. No king shaming word. I love this show. I love how the character development, how they focus on all the characters and have the episodes in between. But the highlights, and remember, you saw her lose identity when she stole whatever she stole and ended up at the hotel and kind of denied it and just disappeared. Like you saw it coming, and that's why she was gone so long. But I love the character development and the redevelopment of all the characters. It's amazing to me. But yeah, I agree. The next half of the season has to be in Atlanta, where he goes back to home and they can tell him, nigga, you ain't real.
You know what I appreciate is that it makes you go and try to figure out what the episode is about. I'm glad that I don't know what's going on in every episode, and it forces me to go learn some shit. That's what I like about it.
Okay.
The what we call random. I'm a creative person as well, especially when I'm off an edible, and
I know you creative.
I be thinking about all kind of just crazy shit. So when I'm looking at these episodes, I'm like, this shit is phenomenal. I don't know what's going on, but it makes perfect sense. And then when I want to educate myself, I go to YouTube University.
YouTube University, the Western philosopher.
That's where. Hey, listen, I'm a whole professional paid photographer and videographer, and I learned from the University of YouTube. So
shout out to YouTube.
Yeah.
We need to get paid off of that, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You ain't said nothing but a word, brother. You ain't said nothing but a word. All right. Anything left on this before we close it out?
Anybody recommend any other albums, any other music?
Not until Friday.
I would like to give credit to Mary for having me listen to Doja Cat's album because I was on an episode when y'all recorded it. I finally listened to it, and it's actually pretty dope. So shout out to you.
All right. But that's it. Go ahead and give them your social media. Let's get the hell up out of here.
I am tired with a T at the end, but you can follow me at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms. Follow Young Urban Moms. Big announcements for that coming soon.
Word.
And yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
All right. Baylor?
At Baylorism on TikTok, at Baylorism on Twitter, Baylor the Great on IG, and that's it.
Yo, shout out to MC Search for giving real credit to that whole line that Jay-Z dropped, where I paid Searchlight Publishing when he basically set Nas up to give him majority shares of ownership of his own shit. That's dope. White man still looking out for the brother. Shout out to Nas.
You can follow me at CEO Hayes. You can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave us a text and or voicemail, you can do so at 614-547-2039. We are the #1 podcast for the culture, and this week, we out. Peace out.
And that nigga who said KRS-One album is whack, I'm coming for you, bro. It ain't over. It's never over. It ain't over.